Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing 2 Overture. It is episode 103,
105.
105, and it is Friday, March still the 28th.
Yeah, I'm Kevin.
Spring's finally here. I'm Nolan.
I think spring
I'm
is here.
Drew. Spring
Yeah.
has sprung.
We're starting to get to where, I don't need the coat when I go for my afternoon walk.
We are in the high 80s to the low 90s.
Well, no, it's more like you need the coat for like the first little bit, and then it starts heating up, and then you gotta take the coat off, and you're just holding it while you walk.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
we've been having a lot of wind, so you can kind of get away with it. But I'm not wearing I'm just wearing the flannel kind of shirt, not like the actual coat.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
just something to keep you a little warm.
we're getting there. We're getting there. I hopefully whenever it gets warm enough, I'll start doing miniature painting, because due to apartment situation, if I'm gonna do miniature painting, it has to be in the garage downstairs, so paint smell doesn't get everywhere. Which
Yeah.
when it was just me, I could handle it because it's my own paint smell. You can deal with it.
Getting high off the miniatures.
Well, it's just the paint smell. Like my
Well,
kitchen or whatever would smell like paint.
Listen, Warhammer's not high fantasy for nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's what happens. But yeah, it's also to get into it. To get in, I don't know. Do I want to get into it, or do I want to complain about artificial intelligence image generation? Because that's really been bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of if we should discuss this on today's podcast, but I left it off because I'm like,
no, it'll come up. Oh, it'll come up right now because I don't like it. It gives me a queasy. It gives me a bad feeling in my tum tum.
What are we specifically complaining about?
Generally, I would say you could. I mean, you can use a jumping off topic, but currently, how quote unquote people are Ghibliifying pictures using OpenAI. That's the main. That's the wrapper, but you can go off from there if you want to talk about wherever. How
it's one of those evergreen issues, and so unless there's something specific coming up, it's just gonna be it still sucks.
I just
don't use all.
I need the crash to happen. I understand that it's not profitable, and I think that's my hope is that the compute in whatever it is not profitable. They can't.
So,
oh, you go.
No, yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely still not profitable. Microsoft has closed down data centers that they had previously dedicated to their AI. Apple has just announced that they are pushing out the Siri add-on, the AI upgrade, because it's not accurate enough. So it's the writing is on the wall. I think probably a couple of them will linger, but no one needs it and no one uses it, and when they do use it, it's bad.
It's from when I see it, I see, and I am not a programmer, but when I see it and I see people trying to be like, look, I did this program or whatever problem, and I'm like, that's probably the end of a tutorial. You didn't say make a game of Tetris and it just made it. That's probably because there's a million JavaScript tutorials of how to make Tetris, and the thing just took the end result and put it in there.
And even then, to do that, I've seen some use cases where someone was so I had this library problem where I wanted to do blah blah blah, but I don't know coding, and so I asked it, and they still had to take what it spit out and work with the IT at their school to iron it into like a functioning thing. So it still can't even solve the problem for you. You still have to have some working knowledge to correct what it screws up. It's still the lazy group member that you have to go behind and correct.
Or like at
And as soon as the free models go away, it's gonna die. Because a college student is not going to pay money to have it write their paper for
I
them
think
over and over
I think that's
until
also
it works.
the thing is that like from what I've seen, the use cases are you have a low level programming grunt that if you know how to do programming, you can kind of make it work. But if you don't, like, it's not gonna make it. Like you're like, I am not going to be able to say, hey, Open AI, make me the U Realms puppet thing, and it just
Yep.
creates it. Like it won't be able to do that. Like it won't. Or make me like
Yeah, it can't.
yeah, because it can't do it. But if you could probably be like, do like help me do a HTML reference library for or I don't know, I'm not a programmer, but whatever. So, but then it's just like stealing. Like I feel like
Uh-huh.
it's there's just I don't like I feel part of me. So I'm multiple conflicted. I'm mainly talking about art because I even with my limited capabilities, that's what I feel comfortable talking about. And it's to a sense where I feel like even if you're trying to say like memes and pictures, you lose a lot with even by having like an AI generated thing because it robs the image. Because many of my favorite images are like MS Paint doodles and drawings
Mm-hmm.
because they come from an authentic place.
Yep.
Like Tails gets trolled if you AI filtered that and it made it look like Sonic the Hedgehog, like Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comics or whatever, it would not be as funny.
Yeah.
It would not be it. And that's just even like that.
The people I feel bad for are the ones whose art style is what got like largely fed into it in like huge quantities. That like pseudo realistic anime style.
Oh,
Because
well,
now even when I see their art, I'm just like, I know this is how you have been doing it, but the automatic sense of distaste kicks into my. I'm just like, this looks like AI, and I know it's not, but this looks like AI.
I just let Nolan know that he dropped in case it was accidental.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, but I think Magic the Gathering, because like Hasbro Magic the Gathering stuff was one of the things they all trained it on. So like even the newer stuff, there's always that sense of like, did they do that on this?
Uh-huh. Well,
Like they didn't, but you already have it's always in the back of your brain like
which I also think is good because Wizard of the Coast, is chomping at the bit to unleash AI.
oh, every major corporation wants it. Like every major corporation wants it. I just think that one, it's. I think the big things holding it back are the one thing of like.
That it sucks.
I think even more one. I don't even. I think it's the copyright issue. I think
Oh yeah,
it's the whole
because
thing
they
of
don't own
like
the thing at the end.
yeah, like if you make if Disney or whatever makes like
Yep.
I don't
If
know,
Disney makes their new animated film with AI,
then it's not then anyone can.
then it's also they don't own it. So
Yeah, they
that
don't
means
own it.
anyone can just take it
Yeah.
and put it out and sell DVDs of it, and well, I'm streaming this for free, and Disney can't copyright strike me.
Yeah, what? You can't
Um,
stop me. The sequel series Gem Possible, made with Overture like generated AI, is now just anyone because I could type that
oh,
in and get it. So you can't stop me.
well, and like, and then so obviously it can get into copyright territory depending on how much human input there is. You can't just like, oh, here's the doodle I did, and then here's the AI output. Copyright this. That still doesn't count. But
No.
like, there's the story of the Chinese company that fired their artists, hired prompt writers. The art director said, "Fine, I'm going to treat them like actual artists." And then, of course, they can't like make the changes to the backgrounds or like whatever else is needed. So then the company had to fire them and try to rehire the original artist.
Yeah, because like the thing has no consistency. It's like you can't
Yeah,
get it
it has no understanding.
because it doesn't know what it's doing. There's no intelligence in artificial intelligence. It's just like
Yeah, it's machine learning.
it's it's
It,
it's it's auto complete and like clip art and
uh-huh.
like predictions.
Like it's oh man. So in Mass Effect, do you remember how when you're on like the colony, they have the hologram constructs that'll talk to you?
Yes.
And they make a point of being like, no, I'm not AI. That's illegal. And I'm not that sophisticated. I'm virtual intelligence,
Exactly.
VI.
I
And
can
one, I'm glad that hasn't been co opted. But two, I wish people knew to call it machine learning because that's what it actually is.
Yeah, it's just AI slop has such a good mouthfeel.
Yeah, I know. ML slop.
Uh,
Blah.
nah, it's that, but it's just, it's like, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like seeing it.
Yep.
I,
Yep.
there's,
For the most part, it's I have it filtered from almost my whole life.
well, sometimes
Um,
like it's showing up. I on like when my dad and me and stuff, we watch like a show on Tubi or whatever, and
yeah.
sometimes some of the 15-second ads, you're like, oh, that's AI. That's
Uh-huh.
like here's the most amazing product that I have. It is product. It is the new blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, this is just AI generated
Yeah.
garbage.
Yep.
But
Um,
it's just I don't. It's
the
it's
the biggest I will say the biggest impact to me was um Late Night with the Devil, the horror movie set on like the set of a 1970s ish
yeah.
late night talk show. And they fucking are super skeezy and know it because there's a few title card like where in universe the show would be cutting to commercials,
Yeah.
and they used AI to generate those. But strangely, when it premiered at South by Southwest, those weren't in the film. But then when it came
Oh.
to wider distribution, they were in the film.
Oh, the old video game classic of the microtransactions get turned on after the review copy was sent out.
Uh huh.
So everyone says, yeah, there's no AI in this, and then like they put it in, or there is
Yep.
no, and I think it's just it, uh, it's it it's not just the person, but it's the kind of it's like the attitude behind it, like this
Mm-hmm.
holier than thou of like I'm doing something. It's basically it's the same attitude that you see all when Elon Musk was saying how great he was at Path of Exile 2 because someone
Yeah.
else was playing
Yes.
his character, and he's like, look how talented of an artist I am because I stole like 1,000 space pictures and then told my
Mm-hmm.
machine to generate space picture, and then you get like all the endorphins of like I created this.
Yeah, it's the I want the payoff, but I don't want to do any of the work.
And let me tell you, as someone that wants that in my life, I don't want it for like creative things.
Mm-hmm.
That's also I think I've complained about it here, but I've complained about it many times. Where like all of the robots coming for your jobs, it's like coming after the humanity's finest achievements and the things that make us the most human, and not like lawnmower or
Yeah.
or like man who
Yeah.
has to like pave the pothole, which like no, that's an important job, but like no one like the crux of human achievement is not like the creativity of like the road crew that has to fix the
Yeah.
pothole, or the person that
It's like, can you please let the robot do the shitty stuff in my day-to-day life that I don't want to do? The Roomba, I am pro Roomba for a robot stealing a job.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you had like like
I'm
the
not pro Roomba sending the schematics of my house back to its data space.
yeah. Welcome back, Nolan.
Sorry about that.
We're just complaining about how AI is taking all the wrong jobs it should be taking. Like, I love you,
Like
plumbers.
it should be. Yeah, yeah. Oh, plumbing. Yeah, gone.
Yeah,
Oh.
plumbing. I wish that was gone. I don't wish like people who drew the funny comics have been deleted, or like.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
I want, let's say maids, not maids, but like washing clothes should be automatic, and then something should fold it for me because I don't want to do that anymore.
If you had like a robot chef that lived in my kitchen and I could tell it to make like healthy meal that tastes good and it would just do it.
Yep. If
like,
I could have the
that's
Star
cool.
Trek, whatever, do that.
The replicator, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would even go so far as to say if there's like I would put the sword of Damocles and say like if you could give me the holodeck and the replicator, then I'll let you do it. But if you don't, then you are instantly like decapitated by my ethereal sword. You have
The problem is
so now. Yeah, go ahead.
the holodeck is going to be made by the same people who do Jujutsu Kaisen 60 frames per second 4K.
Oh, that's the worst. That is the
holodeck.
worst. Those people are the worst because you just want to find like the fight scene between Sakuta. Like, listen, sometimes I don't want to watch like the entire episode. I just want to watch Sakuta fight Maharaga, but I don't want to watch 64 because it looks weird in 4K, and I'm
It's
like,
not how it's made.
no, I just.
The head of the head of the Shadow Clan said it. That these days it's 60 frames per second this, 4K that. They don't understand what 12 frames can do. They'll get it.
That's yes.
He said it to the audience there and said, "No, 60 frames is better."
Yeah, so like, no, I just hate it.
No, I know what the artist really wants to do.
And what's that?
No, put it 60 frames. That's what he secretly wants to do. So I'm fixing it for him.
Yeah, oh, I fixed it. Nintendo, hire this man.
Yep.
I was gonna say that, or like the problem is once you step into the holodeck, it's also going to be AI slop.
Yep.
Well, we're not going to get there. Like, we're not going to get.
It's gonna be like a fever dream.
Listen, we're not hitting the Star Trek future. Even though the Star Trek future has its own problems, like all of humanity, we're always going to have some problems, but we're not going to get there. We are not. Because remember, like, at least in my experience, every bad thing that's happened is always going to be the lamest version of it. Like, I feel like
that's what maximizes profits.
Like, I feel like we're approaching Ready Player One, but like the Second Life version.
Like, Fortnite's already like halfway there.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. It's just like Fortnite.
I do want to remind, like, for like Americans, but like, it might be cool. You might be okay if you're like Chinese.
You might have the.
You'll have your own problem, but you're not gonna.
China's gonna have a kick-ass Ready Player One.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
China, as the late great Ryan Davis said, China don't care. You'll be like you'll be plugging into Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. And you'll be like entirely made of stolen assets and malware, but you're like, okay.
Like this awesome.
The best ever.
Yo, they just like hand animated the manga with thousands of robot slaves and human ones. They figured it out.
Well, no. So
Oh,
the robot slaves are doing the work. The human slaves, that's the middle management.
Yeah, no, that's like in like a Conan-esque like how Conan was pushing that rock. Like they're just doing that to
Yeah.
generate the electricity. That feels like something that would be in
it's gonna
Soma.
be. They're not even gonna be. They're not even robot slaves. They're being remotely controlled by people in a third world
Oh,
country.
that's the
And look
worst.
at the robot. Look at. We made a robot.
Okay, like, am I the like? I think that's like one of the most creepy things. Like, I don't like that. I don't like the idea of like Detroit become human, and that's not like a robot that's the maid. It's like some guy in Indonesia.
Yeah. Yep, that's what it's gonna be.
I know that's what's gonna be, and I don't like it. I don't have to like it. Also, I don't need a robot
I
maid.
would now I'm thinking it's like, okay, it is going to be some guy in Indonesia, but it's going to be like a brain in a jar.
Oh God, are we hitting like the Soma
like,
nightmare where it's just Indonesian man, and then every robot AI is based on his neural. Like,
they, no,
Oh,
they
I love
literally
that short
sold their
story.
soul away for like $1,000 in some third
I
world
don't.
country.
I remember that
I don't
short
So
know,
they're
story.
Nolan. Electricity to run a
yeah,
brain in the jar sounds more expensive than just a bag of rice
That's
or
true.
half a bag of rice.
no, that's what they're going to be paid to sell the body once, and then after that, you know,
Uh,
I think
their
about that
internal
short
program.
story about the guys who AI's copies were like used forever. I also think about
oh,
that part in Soma that was either I don't know if that was before or after the story where one of like the other AI robots talks about how the player character they're like, "Oh, I messed around with you in like my college days to figure out everything about you." And I'm like, "Ugh. Ugh."
Oh,
Remember that part in Soma where like you have to
I
load the
need to
guy.
play Soma.
Soma is so cool.
it's
You can
great.
just watch it. You can watch a playthrough of it. Honestly, the gameplay,
Yeah,
like that's one you just watch it. But there's so many cool parts that's like deeply That's one of the games that have stuck with me. Like, and it continues to stick with me. It is it is not a spooky game, but it is nightmare.
A scary game.
Oh, it is the slowest burn where you're like, yeah, that robot looks kind of spooky, but it's not scary. And then you think about it where you're like, oh God, it's like it's there's like a robot
that's not a robot. That's
it's like a copy of someone's intelligence and it's just plugged into a wall and it's just stuck there and it can't move and it's just saying,
Oh.
please help me. And you're like, ugh, ugh, don't like
and
it.
the idea that the other robots see you and they're like, "Oh my God, there's a robot. I gotta kill that,"
Yeah,
not knowing that they're a robot.
yeah, all the robots see themselves as people, and their brains like can't handle it. And if they get exposed, it's cool. There's cool.
It's so good. It took like
And
the creepy part of Ghost in the Shell and expanded it.
Well, it's because it comes from a place, and it's like, oh, that sounds like a good idea, and then the game's thesis is, what if it really wasn't a good idea?
Yeah.
What if it's not a good idea to upload millions of virtual copies of yourself and perform experiments on them to figure out which one will work? maybe maybe that's kind of a nightmare.
Mickey 17, baby.
I didn't see that movie. You guys did. How'd
I'm
it
going to
go?
see it. I'm going.
Oh,
No, I'm going to see it Monday.
okay.
oh, okay, good. I wish I was going to see it Monday.
Speaking of horrors beyond our comprehension, Malcolm in the Middle revival. I saw some news about that.
I I did not know this was happening until I stumbled upon an article this week,
My
and I
dad,
stumbled.
that was one of the impetus for my dad to take the $1 extra Disney Plus is because he wanted to watch the Malcolm revival when it was like announced.
Yeah, I I do not plan to watch it. That's my current plan. If you get
I
back to me and say they picked up it and it's the same, okay, but I don't plan to watch it.
I plan to watch it mainly because and my expectations like are if it's as good as New Frasier, I'll be satisfied. I am not, and that's like, because I think New Frasier's okay. But if it comes out as like, that was okay. Apparently, a lot of the old actors are back, except for Dewey.
Dewey. Yep, because the actor who plays Dewey was like, I did 7 years of TV and I'm done.
I respect that. I respect going the Rick Moranis of just like, nah, I'm done. I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Peace out. I'm done. And you know what? God
bless. Yeah. I do love that. I'll talk about the opposite of that later, but yeah, no, I love it. Just like, yeah, I don't want to act anymore. I just want to like live a normal life. Peace out.
And apparently he's still close with Lois.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
And I think the premise is kind of interesting. Of like Malcolm has a daughter, and he's visiting the family again. I'm like, okay, but then again, that's kind of like
president.
No, I don't know. We don't know. Could be a senator.
Guess that's true.
Hopefully he's still like Malcolm neurotic, even though he's probably like extremely successful.
No, Malcolm cannot be successful.
Yeah, that's the problem. Enemy. That's what I'm gonna have with the show is like, I don't. There's no way.
They can't recapture the magic. They're not going to be.
Yeah,
able
to
I do not think they can.
Because like the whole point of like the ending is a very like, oh, like Malcolm's still in like a shitty situation being the janitor at Harvard while he goes to Harvard. But it's also like, it's the happiest ending that show could have. Like, but things are going to get better.
Yeah.
And so continuing it, the only thing you can do is say things did not get better.
That's kind of. I'm gonna go on.
To make their son the president is flawed, and they put too much pressure on him.
Like,
one of the themes of New Frasier was sometimes you just gotta let it go, and then the show ended, which is both counterintuitive to like how the show got greenlit, but I did like that it was like they had an episode where like, nah, the old radio station failed, you can't just bring it back, it's over. And then like the show kind of ended on a little bit of a high note, but it was like I'm like you can't go back.
Sometimes Niles is right.
Listen,
Niles.
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes people remember Lord of the Rings. They remember it, but they don't remember the scouring of the Shire. They don't remember you can't go back, Frodo. That's why he had to get on the boat with the elves. He couldn't do it. He couldn't go back. You can't just go back to Hobbiton, hang out, eat second breakfast all day, even though that's rad.
Merry and Pippin did.
Yeah, well, Merry and Pippin are like...
Sam did, and he started a family.
Yeah.
Yep.
They also didn't have to carry like the evil cursed ring on them at all times. I mean, that'll do something to you. I don't care. Listen, you carry that ring of power around your neck, it's gonna F you up. You're gonna have some problems. It's bad.
Plus,
Frodo's just waking up in a cold sweat every night.
They did not realize they had the solution was you have a ring bearer and you got a ring bearer, and that's how you get it to Mordor.
Yeah, you can't do it.
How you throw it into Mount Doom. You gotta have a Sam to carry Frodo the last 100 yards.
You gotta have someone as indomitably pure of heart and devout as like a hobbit to do it. Like elf can't do it. Dwarf can't do it. Human really can't do it.
Oh yeah, human barely made it through book 1.
Human get real bad. I don't think elves could do it. I think elves would F up.
Oh no! Again, like they even say that it's like no, it's like Gandalf. I'd start out using it for good, and then it would slowly I'd turn into the like cruel and beautiful ring.
I turn into Kellogg's Blueberry. That's what happens. I turn into a stand. I turn into an evil stand. Now, I know that sounds cool. I know you're thinking, man, wouldn't that be rad to have an evil stand? And yeah, it is. But no, you don't want that smoke. You don't want it.
No, the answer is you're the evil stand in this situation.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to be the
get
stand.
to. Yeah, you get to be. I become killer. Being Killer Queen is not great. Having Killer Queen is awesome.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't. You don't want to. You don't want to be Killer Queen or Star Platinum. It's not great.
Yeah, I don't being told what to do. I'd rather have my own autonomy.
Yeah. Although you might get lucky. You might be one of those kind of stands. They're out there. They do their own thing.
The autonomous kind.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just gonna get a smaller evil ring and put it on the first evil ring.
There you go. That would be like a plot. That would be how you'd win the JoJo fight. Is to put another ring on the ring. That's how it would work. You would give it.
Sorry, in that split second, your ring was off your finger. I put another ring underneath it, so now it's not making direct skin contact with you.
I put the ring on your stand.
Just the silhouette of like the two rings forming the infinity symbol. It's like they're locked in eternal combat.
Yeah, that's how it'd work. All right, we got stuff. Nolan, you were gonna talk about something. Talk about it.
Oh yeah. Had a nice little Nintendo Direct this week.
I watched it.
Yep.
More AI, the Somnium Files continues. Let's go.
We also had a 5-hour MCU stream direct.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, where they just announced all the Marvels.
Yep.
Dude, there's going to be Doom and Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
Who cares? If I'm going to be honest.
Yep.
Well,
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Do not give like 3 shits about anything Marvel anymore. Who cares?
Yep. It's impressive.
I like Daredevil.
No, I don't even care about that anymore. Him being associated with the MCU has just made it be like, I don't care anymore.
They've ruined it.
It's so commodified that like I know it's like I feel like I've watched every MCU thing and I haven't watched it in like at this point, I don't know, like years. And I feel like I could tell you kind of the quality of Captain America versus Red Hulk. Like I kind of feel like I know what that movie looks like, sounds like, and it's like, yeah, it's probably like a 6.5 to like a 7 out of 10. There's like between 1 or 2 kind of neat scenes, a messy CGI fight, some exposition that weirdly goes nowhere and kind of takes both sides of all issues. So not to offend, but you're also kind of like, I wish you chose a lane of some kind. And then it ends with a teaser.
I wish you would just say something.
And then it ends with like a teaser to like the next movie, and then another teaser for like the next team up movie. And overall,
oh, you forgot the soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack is like completely forgettable, like designed to just leave your brain. Like it's just like goes in one ear and out the next, and you're like, well, that was an okay movie I watched on my Marvel streaming on my Disney Plus and or on the airplane that I watched. And
this was worth the $16 a month I spend on it.
Oh, and it was probably like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
It really could have been like a 90 minutes long, and that extra hour you really feel it of like, oh, there's just some really a lot of padding in here.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would still be watching them or not, but if they were 90 minutes, I'd be much more likely to tune in.
Oh, I think 90 minutes is the perfect length for most, if not all, films, because it perfectly goes with your 3-act structure. You get 3 30-minute acts, and it just works. Now, not all films. Some people get, if you're qualified, you get that 2 hours. You get that extra 30.
If it's 2.5, you can follow the still classic but more dynamic 5 act structure.
Well, you gotta prove yourself. You gotta be a certain caliber of director and film to get that honor to get an extra act. I would say like depending on how good your last movie was, that's like your time limit. So like
Like,
you start off with 90 minutes, and then if your movie sucked, you get dropped down to like 70 minutes. But if your movie was good, you get to stay at 90 minutes. But if you want to or have a really bold idea, we might let you get up to that 120.
honestly, Disney could learn one thing from DC, and that is they should put out like a 90-minute version of the movie, and then like a month later put out the Disney cut. That's the 2.5 hours.
I could see it. There's value
Start
there.
double dipping,
There's value there.
especially how much money they're putting into them, and now it's like, oh, you're getting two returns on it, probably like 1.5 returns because most people are just gonna watch the 90-minute one.
Metroid Prime 4 looks pretty
But, I mean,
cool.
that incentivizes,
Yep.
yeah, that incentivizes like the streaming service more, so that's perfect.
Yep. Yep. All Samus goes to Avatar.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it looks like it looks like between like Metroid. It looks like it's probably going to be between like Prime 3 and Prime 4 and Prime 3 and 2 in quality, around there. I don't know if it's going to be as good as 1. I was never a huge Metroid Prime guy. I liked it, but I never played. I didn't play 2 or 3.
I like the
No, it's
premise more than the function of using telekinesis to curve your buster shot.
Oh, that's cool. I also think part of
That is
Nintendo's little direct is like the idea of like the real stuff is next week because that's when the Switch 2 direct is going to be. So
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
not gonna.
Where they're like, hey, all that stuff you saw last week, it's also coming to the Switch too.
Yeah, like
Except for the virtual game card trading.
yeah, whatever the hell that was.
I-
What do you
That
what do you
looks good as hell, actually.
what do you think
Well,
about?
listen, I know what it is. That's for now the polycule can start sharing games.
Finally,
This is my first thought of like finally all those
yeah, the Steam families
Nintendo loving. Yeah.
or the family
Finally
plans
share-
that are just gonna be like everyone's sharing their games, which is fine. What do you think about Nintendo making its own Twitter because Twitter got turned into garbage?
Oh, that's
cool.
I didn't super look at that in the
I haven't looked at
recaps
it at all.
'cause-
I'm not downloading it.
because I don't. Well, no. I mean, I didn't even watch the little trailer for it. I just saw like, oh, there's now a Nintendo news thing. I don't need that much Nintendo news in my life.
Well, the thing
But-
I'm
is,
gonna be honest. I 100% skipped that part of the direct, so I don't know.
it just looks like Miyamoto was up there saying, "Hey, you want to get Nintendo news on your social media feed? You can just download the Nintendo app, and we'll post what we would post normally to like our Twitter account, but we're not posting there anymore because you know how it is." And we all go, "Yeah,
Good
we
for
know
you,
how it is."
Nintendo.
So like
We're bringing back. What was it called? Was it the Miiverse?
Yeah.
the Tomodachi Life, it's back.
No, he means
Yeah.
Miiverse though.
Yeah, Miiverse. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah. But
Where
yeah, why
everyone
can't
votes.
Metro Call? We're gonna get that again. So hey, let's clap.
I liked Tomodachi Life. That was one of like the few phone games. Was that whatever? What was the Tomodachi one on the phone?
Yeah, it's Tomodachi.
Okay, because there's like the DS game, and then there's the one on the phone, and I played the one on the phone kind of a lot. Like I took pictures and did surveys, and was like friends, and was asking them stuff. It was pretty fun.
I'm surprised they haven't brought one back sooner because I feel like anytime they make a Mii game, it usually does very well. Because people love their Miis. They love making their Miis.
Well, it's fun.
And I don't understand because I hate the maker. Like, I
Yeah.
think Mii's look awful.
Oh, the Mii never looks
I make
good.
one that kind of looks like me, and then that's it. And then I don't care anymore.
Well, it's you're not a content creator or someone who wants to be like running their own Sims. Basically, it's The Sims.
I
The people
really don't
long
play
for
it.
Sims.
Yeah, I also that's really all it is. It's just The Sims,
People long for The Sims. There's like because you'll
which I
see
also
like
don't get.
oh the Sims are
They long for
great.
Sims not made by EA.
Yeah, well it's like it's kind of
No, I I've played The Sims and I've never understood the appeal of The Sims.
I
Well, I
think
was about to say, they want a Sims that doesn't cost $500 to get
yeah to get
all the
like all
content.
DLC packages or
Yep.
whatever. It's like
Jeez.
it's like why like of all those games. So there's like The Sims, SimCity. I like SimCity, but if you want to talk about what really gets me going, really gets my neurons firing, it's that Roller Coaster Tycoon. Mmm.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that old Roller Coaster Tycoon. That is like all the good chemicals coming
And
back.
I love me playing Business Management Simulator.
Oh, it's great. I like to make it. I like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I didn't have Zoo Tycoon, and I like SimCity.
Also fun.
I did like SimCity, but I played like one. I played like SimCity. It was like 2000 or 3000. I don't remember, but that's the one I
No,
played.
these are the good Sims games. But SIM
Yeah.
Sim
I think like
game.
Sims
That's what
1 or Sims
I don't
2
know.
is fine because there's no DLCs for it. It was just the game.
I agree with you on that. Like, I don't get the appeal of like making a house and then I guess people just want to simulate their life. But I'm like,
Listen, the whole appeal of Animal
that's
Crossing is the never-ending dream of home ownership. I think Animal Crossing is more game and Sim is more dollhouse. Like Sims is where like
yeah. Oh,
you want to like okay,
yeah.
I actually want to do like the floor plan and I want to put in like the broom and like the like that's the fun part. Whereas like Animal Crossing, you're doing that, but you're also like I need to catch the fish and I need to like
I think I think the spectrum is you got Animal Crossing on one side, The Sims in the middle, and then Dwarf Fortress on the other end.
I think you're correct. You're 1,000% correct.
The most powerful sim is
Oh man, Dwarf Fortress is so good though. Dwarf Fortress is
Oh
a
my
hell
god.
of a game. Hell of a game.
Yep. No Clip is doing a docu series about it. It's good.
Yeah. I need to get on that.
Ooh.
Yep. There's 2 episodes out.
I've just been
2
watching a
more to.
lot of BattleTech lore and also been really shocked that when I was talking about BattleTech last week about the one devil mech, then like BattleTech decides to announce its alternate Gundam style alternate universe that's just full of devil mechs, which is like cool.
Is there a devil mech lady?
We don't know. Maybe we'll get there.
That's important.
But I think it's great because it's specifically like the Gundam alternate universe, so you get to have all your fun stuff and not pollute the main timeline, which is
Yeah.
like it works for it. There's a reason why Gundam does it, so whenever they do something weird, most people don't get mad. Some people will
Yep.
always
The
get mad.
Spurgs can leave it alone.
Yeah, like the
The,
the Chuds will
the
always get
Spurgs
mad.
get mad that it's a lady as a protagonist.
Oh, there was some people in the BattleTech that got real. They were real mad that this was like happening, and I'm like, why are they so mad? This is just like alternate dimension. So you get like the robots that look more like weird, either biomechanical or like Warhammery, and you can just use them in like your regular game if you want, and say they're just some kind of weird cult that exists in universe. It's called the Word of Blake. They formed after like some executive guy. I'm getting the lore wrong, but whatever.
That's fine.
There exists radical cult jihadist. One of the BattleTech expansions, which is called Jihad. So that happened. What about Ronaldo? And
Hey, I cannot
Man,
think of more of a thing to say. This is Mexico's game than putting a professional soccer player into Mark of the
It's
Wolves.
also really weird because he does have like sexual assault allegations, like a lot of professional athletes. So there also is that going on.
Well, I think we saw the Terry Bogard video
Yeah,
where
we've
he's on the
seen it.
motorcycle.
We've seen Terry on the motorcycle. We've seen. I mean, he is a professional sports player, so there's like a
Yeah,
non-zero chance of that
yep,
happening. I'm not opposed
it
to
is.
it, but like that's kind of it's like ugh.
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable.
It's well, I think it's like it's similar to how like don't look too hard about what Saudi Arabia thinks about LGBTQ people.
Yep.
They're not thrilled
Don't look
about them.
too hard about why they're so heavily investing in professional sports and esports
Yeah, don't think about it.
and video games in general.
Why they're real hungry for it because they wanna try to get it, and you're like, oh. But then on the other side, Garrow Mark of the Wolves 2 is happening.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. No, that's just the world we live in. I can't remember what was that Ursula K. Le Guin story about, like the child that must suffer at like for like the
The
utopia.
Giver?
No, there's a Ursula K. Le Guin story.
I was gonna say that's Lois Lowry.
Yeah, that's
not
Lois
Ursula.
Lowry, and it was about like a utopian society, but at the bottom there must be a child that just suffers endlessly forever, and it was like that moral dilemma or quandary.
Is
And
this from Range Touch?
yeah, well, they were talking about it, but I'm more referring to it because I saw a tweet that said that like Doug from Doug is that child, and that he must suffer for all, and Mr. Dink is putting him in the suffering tube so that society could continue. He just said your suffering will be very no, it was like the cost of utopia is very expensive, Douglas.
Okay, but Doug deserves it. God,
Oh, yeah.
that show sucked.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But I just think about that a lot. I think about many things of science fiction literature, but it's Doug. That's my curse.
But it's been devolved.
Yeah. So truly, doesn't that will your AI generation come to that genius thing? No. 'Cause
No, it can't.
it neither has intelligence nor the proper lack of anti-intelligence. See, this is like cursed energy where when you have zero, you get different powers.
AI could never have made Drawn Together.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have smart
No.
stupid.
It's not smart enough to be that stupid.
No.
It can't multiply the smart by the smart to get stupid.
Are they putting more Mortal Kombat characters in Fortnite?
Yeah, Scorpion.
Oh, that makes
And
sense.
then also they teased some additional ones. I think like maybe Katana. I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, that's okay. It's just kind of like, I don't know.
I think they had Sub-Zero in the season, so they're like, let's just do more, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Eh.
Ed Boon's basically always up. I guess actually WB is always up since they actually own these characters.
Well, yeah, they don't care. That's like one of the things that they're trying to recover the brand after Mortal Kombat 1.
I wish Johnny Cage had gotten put into Tekken 7. I think that would have been cool. Probably the coolest thing ever done with the Mortal Kombat characters.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it.
Just all the bad dads are here.
That'd be true. His fighting style would be unique. He'd have some moves. You could fight him. Like you can't put him like Shao Kahn in there. He's too much of like.
No.
Well, I mean, he kind of. I don't know, ogre.
Oh, no. There's a good choice for who should be the next character in Tekken, and it should be,
Scorpion.
You know what? I was going to make a serious one, but Ronaldo should be put in second.
Ronaldo could go in there. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldo in second. I was going to be like, yeah, we should put like
You
a
put like
wrestler.
Mbappe in
No,
there.
Fatal third character, Cristian Ronaldo.
You put
Oh,
like
Oh,
you put like
I
Mohamed
was-
Salah in there.
Tiger W character Kenny Omega in the
Could've
Bullet
put-
Club.
Yeah,
could have put Scorpion and Sam Show. I think that would have worked.
I think it would have worked. Scorpion, yeah, Scorpion's
It's just
like,
Japan. Japan's just like Mortal Kombat's not a real game.
well, even here it's not a real game.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Like, it's not a real game. It
Which
tried
I'm
to
going to be honest, the last great moment Mortal Kombat had was perfect 13-0 Legend.
Yep.
That was,
Perfect
I think, the
13-0
last time
and a
Mortal
first to
Kombat was
10.
like,
I think, like, I also think Mortal Kombat maybe is suffering from a thing we kind of talked about a long time ago, where where games weren't infinity games. So like,
yeah,
when we were playing fighting games, you'd have time to be like, yeah, we could get like Mortal Kombat and play a couple matches, and it'd be like, yeah, that's all right.
yeah.
But now, due to the life of like infinity games, you're like, no, I have to constantly do my dailies and blah, and you're like, oh, like I saw Venom trailer and that was cool, and I think it's cool. RoboKai is like the stand. I think that's a creative way to kind of to use RoboKai without blowing
Yeah, and
the
all
budget.
it plays into their. It also plays into the story that they've been telling.
Yeah.
RoboKai like self-destructed during Xrd, but his head survived.
Yeah, so now he's just a pod from Nier.
And it's also I like the idea of Venom using him as a pool ball. I don't think he does, but he should.
He should just be like the case
He-
that holds.
you-
You should just use him as the case that holds his pull cue, like Tom
The
Cruise in
case
that
that
movie.
holds Lucille.
Yeah.
I was literally going to see RoboKai bring out Lucille.
Oh man, that'd be sick. Yeah.
All right.
What if instead of Venom, it was just Uncle Phil? It was just Philip Banks. Think about it.
I feel like if you wait long enough, you'll get that mod.
They could do it. Listen, all you have to, like Gold Lewis has the proportions.
Jeffrey.
Yep.
Like you kind of model him in.
Take him.
You could tweak it. I feel like you could tweak Gold Lewis's model to be Uncle Phil, and then you have there's plenty of audio. You could just like put it in as like the sound effects.
Yep.
Like just have him screaming "Will" as he's doing his like his big super. Yelling.
Martyrs, you heard us. Put Uncle Phil in the game for us, please.
So yeah, there you go.
Come on.
Put him in there. America craves
Guys,
Uncle
Kenny.
Phil.
Please do this.
Whenever I think of pool, I think of Uncle Phil. I'm not gonna lie. That's like number one. Then it's the Tom Cruise movie where he was a pool hustler. That movie's alright.
All right. Well, I gotta go.
Alright. So
Oh, okay.
we're
Later
done.
days.
Bye.
Okay.